they didn't want to chase greatness. And on Saturday night in front of 12,000 people, and I can't tell you how good it will feel to even have that many people back in the arena at the Alamo Dome, you will witness the fight of the year for the WBC, WBA Ring Magazine 168-pound World Championship. And right now I want to bring up two great fighters. Firstly, if we could bring up Callum Smith, WBA Ring Magazine 168-pound #1 fighter in a division, of course, the pound-for-pound #1, multi-weight world champion as well. Please, Canelo Alvarez, can you join us to the stage as well? Thank you so much, gentlemen. Welcome. We'll start with the champion, Callum. I've never seen anyone so relaxed in such a mega fight since I've promoted boxing. From the moment this fight was discussed, from the moment that we were negotiating the fight, from even this week in the hotel, super relaxed. Is that because you're in a great frame of mind? You know you're ready. This is your moment.
Yeah, it's just I'm a relaxed person anyway. I'm quite laid back, but I'm in the position I've always wanted to be ever since I was a little boy, and especially since turning professional. The goal was to always reach the very top, be involved in the biggest fights possible on the biggest stage for the biggest prizes. And I'm here now, so I've got to just enjoy it. There's no bigger fight possible for me. I finally got the fight I wanted, and I'm in a very good place mentally and physically. I feel really good and I'm ready to perform, and I'm just excited. I can't get worked up or nervous or anything unless I'm in a position I've always wanted to be in.
Obviously turned pro many years ago with Matchroom. Many felt like you should have been in the Olympic team. You used that to really drive your success forward. I think one thing that people haven't really picked up on in this fight is I don't think you've barely lost a round as a professional fighter. Obviously undefeated, but you know, obviously the fight against John Ryder was the fight. You did lose some rounds in that fight, but before that against George Groves, against Hassan and Dam, you know, for the European Championship, against Rabras, against Rocky Fielding, a pretty straightforward career so far to this point.
Yeah, definitely, and I think that's what I always want to be a world champion. And I don't think people knew how good I was. I kind of done it all my own way. I never really had a tough test along the way, and it was more, let's say, credit to myself. I made a lot of tough fights on paper easy, but I sat down and said, well, what more do I want? I've won my world title. Now I want the biggest fight possible. I want to test myself against the biggest names in the sport, and Canelo certainly is that. He's proven he's done it, multiple weights. He's a superstar. He's the pound for pound best, but I believe I'm good enough to compete at that level also. I've proved I'm a world-class fighter. Now I want to prove I can compete at the elite level.
We saw the head-to-head, and you know, as we've seen against Rocky Fielding and Sergey Kovalev, you know, those pictures go global and everybody gasps at the size difference as well. But you bring something very different to this fight as well, don't you? You bring the power, you bring the youth, the experience as well. But difference obviously got to make this size difference play in the fight. But you know, you look at it as an advantage, but no, you have to make it count.
Yeah, I believe so, but I'm not just a big lump with limited ability. I believe I've got skills to go with it. I don't think I believe in being in a position that I'm in now if I didn't have no skills and ability, and tactically I believe we've got it spot on, and I've just got to perform and do exactly what I know I can. And I've watched Canelo over the years, and as a fan I enjoy watching him, but I've always watched them believing if that was me in there, I believe I can beat him. I've always said stylistically I've got the style to do it, and I've got a chance to prove it.
Said to Joe as well, obviously this is people talking about a great upset, if you like. To you, is it an upset? I mean, we know that you're #1 in the division, you deserve to be here, you deserve this opportunity, but you see this much more as a 50-50 fight than some of the bookmakers.
Yeah, for me, obviously, listen, I like my chances in this fight. I believe I lose. I've been asking for this fight because I believe I win it. I'm the underdog. You know, you look at social media, a lot of people don't really give me a chance in this fight, but I've been here before. I've the underdog in my world title fight and event, and it gives me a little bit more motivation, a little bit of a point to prove my work, and I believe I deserve to be in this fight. I'm #1 in the world. I worked very hard to be in the position I'm at, and now I'm enjoying the luxury of being world champion and being involved in these big fights, which, like I said before, I've dreamed of being in since I was a little boy.
Obviously, you had that experience of boxing around the world. You made your debut in America a few years ago. You boxed in Saudi Arabia against George Groves. You boxed at Madison Square Garden against Hassan and Dan. You boxed in all the big arenas in the UK as well. Do you think that calmness will put you in good stead on Saturday night? I remember when we were scrambling around trying to make this fight, when Canelo said he was going to announce it on his Instagram, I think you went to bed first and just turned your phone off and said to Sean and Joe and the team, yeah, whatever, just let me know.
Yeah, the negotiations were long and mentally draining, but I always just wanted this fight regardless of where it was in the world. I just wanted to be in the biggest fights possible, and this always was. The minute I knew he was going to campaign at 168, I knew I had to just keep winning. I made sure the only fight that made the most sense was me. I worked my way to number one in the division, and I finally got that fight. But I'm not here to just be involved in a superstar fight. I'm here to win. I wanna remain undefeated. I wanna stay world champion. I know some mentioned he's still got goals to achieve in the sport. So I've still got more world titles I want to win, and I believe I'll win another one this weekend.
Canelo, welcome. No, thank you. This is another big challenge for you. It's something that you live by in boxing.
Así es, ya estamos acostumbrados a los grandes retos. Gracias a Dios tenemos esta pelea en el 2020 que ha sido difícil para todos. Vamos a cerrar con broche de oro con un gran campeón y pues estoy contento, ¿no? Motivado como siempre.
Yes, we are here and we're always ready for great challenges. Thank God we've been able to make this fight in 2020 and we're ready to close out the year with a big bang and close it out, as a champ.
These surroundings are different. No MGM, grand arrival, no 80,000 people. We've seen with Anthony Joshua last week, he actually quite enjoyed being in this bubble, things being a little bit quieter, being able to focus the mind. Are you enjoying the experience? It's very different.
Sí, la verdad que sí, lo sigo disfrutando al 100%. Obviamente no se ve la gente en el hotel, los gritos, las banderas, pero pues es normalmente lo que hago la semana de la pelea, estar en mi cuarto lo más que se pueda, atender a los medios y prácticamente es lo mismo, nomás sin ver gente en el hotel.
Yes, it's very similar, it's just different where you don't see the people, you don't see the flags, you don't see everything that surrounds fight week, but for the most part it's very, very similar to what I do. I stay in my room, focused, take care of media, press, all of that, but it's very similar, stay focused and just getting ready for what's coming.
When I was talking to Eddie Reynoso, one thing that struck me about you and Eddie is you want the challenges. You want to fight the best, and if you look at your resume in 2020, last year, you boxed Daniel Jacobs for the World Middleweight Championship. You moved up 2 divisions to fight Sergey Kovalev for the Light Heavyweight Championship. Now in your next fight, you fight the number one at 168 pounds. Is this what boxing is all about for you, to the big challenges and fight the best?
Sí, para mí todo lo que me genere, obviamente un riesgo es lo que me gusta. Este es un gran riesgo para mí, para mi carrera, pero también es seguir haciendo historia, ¿no? Callum Smith es el número 1 en las 168 libras, queremos hacer campaña en este peso y pues que más peleando con el número 1 en esa división, ¿no? Entonces me gustan los retos y estoy listo para seguir haciéndolo y tomar las grandes peleas.
Yes, I like risk. I like taking risk. Taking this fight is a risk. I'm fighting the number 1 at this 168 pounds. So these are challenges for me, and I continue to bring challenges forward, and I like the risk of it. I like challenges to continue making history.
Whenever we see the head-to-head, we saw it against Rocky Fielding, we saw it against Sergey Kovalev, see it against Callum Smith. He's a big guy, right? And does that excite you, the fact you're facing these bigger men? We know you're coming up through the divisions.
Sí, sin duda. No, ya sabíamos que es un pelea alto, pero aparte pues tiene muchas cualidades boxísticas también, que eso lo hace aún más completo. Pero pues con mi experiencia en mi nivel, en mi nivel tengo que adaptarme a cualquier situación y tengo la experiencia y las habilidades.
Anyone in the world, and I believe I'm over the years. I've always got rid of people when I hate them. So for me, I never go in guns blazing, swing, looking for a knockout. But it's always in the back of my mind. I'm always ready. I'm quite spiteful when I get someone hurt, and this is exactly the same. I've got to see Canelo Alvarez like any other fighter. Go in there. I'm a world champion. I believe in my own ability, and I believe I can beat anyone.
So, a big puncher. You're a big puncher as well. Fans watching around the world on DAZN this Saturday, we're going to see an explosive fight.
Así es, no, siempre salgo a dar lo mejor de mí y pues hablar ahorita aquí pues no tiene caso, ¿no? Siempre cuando suena la campana es cuando se ve la realidad y la verdad es que yo siempre salgo a hacer lo mejor y a ganar por cualquier vía. Si se me presenta knockout voy a aprovechar y si no tengo la experiencia necesaria para poder ganar con los 12 asaltos, ¿no? Pero obviamente siempre ganar knockout es espectacular y pues obviamente siempre está ahí a la puerta.
Yes, that's what we're here for. This is going to be an explosive fight, a good fight, a very good fight. And if the knockout opportunity arises, then yes, I will take that because the fans always like to see a fight end in a knockout. So if the opportunity arises, I will take it.
Thank you, Saúl and Callum and all the teams as well. This fight, the fight of the year, this Saturday live on DAZN. Do not miss it. It's been a tough year. I want to thank these guys for coming through and delivering, as I said, the best fight of 2020. The number 168 pounder in the world against the pound for pound king. Canelo Alvarez. Gentlemen, if we could have a head-to-head here, and I'll call up both trainers.